All right, good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
It is Wednesday.
It is.
And today we are continuing. It is part 3 of 4 on Peter denies knowing Jesus. Today we're in Luke chapter 22, starting at verse 54b. And Peter followed at a distance. The guards lit a fire in the middle of the courtyard and sat around it. And Peter joined him there. A servant girl noticed him in the firelight and began staring at him. Finally, she said, "This man was one of Jesus' followers." But Peter denied it. "Woman," he said, "I don't even know him." After a while, someone else looked at him and said, "You must be one of them." No, man, I'm not." Peter retorted. Was he a hippie? No, man.
No, man.
About an hour later, someone else insisted, "This must be one of them because he's a Galilean too." But Peter said, "Man, I don't know what you are talking about." And immediately, while he was still speaking, the rooster crowed. At that moment, the Lord turned and looked at Peter. Suddenly, the Lord's words flashed through Peter's mind. "Before the rooster crows tomorrow morning, you will deny me 3 times that you even know me." And Peter left the courtyard, weeping bitterly. And now the commentary. Peter's experience in the next few hours would change his life. He would change from a half-hearted follower to a repentant disciple, and finally to the kind of person Christ could use to build his church. Peter wept bitterly, not only because he realized that he had denied his Lord, the Messiah, but also because he had turned away from a very dear friend, a person who had loved and taught him for 3 years. Peter had said he would never deny Christ, despite Jesus' prediction in Mark 14:29-31 and Luke 22:33 and 34. But when frightened, he went against all he had boldly promised, unable to stand up for his Lord for even 12 hours. He had failed as a disciple and as a friend. Excuse me. We need to be aware of our own breaking points, and not become overconfident or self-confident. If we fail him, we must remember that Christ can use those who recognize their failure. From this humiliating experience, Peter learned much that would help him later when he assumed leadership in the young church.
And that's true. God often helps us develop and grow through our failures.
Yeah. Well, Peter is just like the long laundry list of all the personal failures of all the rest of the people God used. Like Moses was a murderer. Abraham was an adulterer. And so on and so forth. All these people that great pillars of the Bible,
Right.
of the Christian faith, basically, but even the Jewish faith, they were all in some way flawed, very deeply flawed, and yet God still used them to, again, be the pillars of the church.
And individuals with flaws, yes, but also as a group. If you look at the 12 disciples and who they were in their professions before they started following Jesus, you've got a fisherman, you've got a doctor, you've got was it accountant or treasurer, what
Yeah.
So you've got all these people.
Tax collector.
Yeah, they would clash.
Yeah.
In their culture, the people would clash, and Jesus puts them together in a group and expects them to get along.
Yeah.
And you think about the present day churches. No building structure that houses any number of sinners together is going to work perfectly.
No.
But God still uses it.
Oh, yeah.
Just like he used the disciples, even though the backgrounds that they would clash personality-wise. God still uses them.
Yeah.
Just like he can use each individual person with their flaws
Yeah.
to help others.
Yeah, I mean, even as far as, you know, even I guess as far as you and I are concerned, even for myself, you know, just a construction worker, you know, and just thinking, like the construction worker versus the fishermen. You think these fishermen walked around looking like monks, you know? They probably talked coarse like I used to, as being a construction. That world is just, you know.
That's what's common.
Common. They were
it doesn't
common.
mean it's right. It's just common.
Yeah, I mean, it's just the way they talked, the way they acted. I'm sure they ran around and did a lot of bad things too before Christ picked them up and dusted them off, and you know, like He did for me, picked me up and dusted me off, and you know, never went back to that kind of stuff.
Right.
So and here I am, reading through the Bible every day.
I mean, that's what God does.
Yeah.
You don't have to be equipped when you come to Christ.
No.
God equipped you. Know, that's what they do. That's what God the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. That's what they do. Is they clean you and equip you to go help somebody else.
Yep. That's it. That's exactly right. We don't come to Him knowing this is what we're going to do. We just come to Him knowing we're broken and ask Him to clean us up and do whatever.
And let me tell you, don't use the excuse of, well, God, I know you're calling me to that, but I can't do it because I don't have the things necessary. He'll give you the things necessary, so you're better off just saying, I ain't going to do it, or I don't want to do it, because He's going to equip you.
Yeah.
So don't use that excuse. So,
yeah.
And I'm perfect example of all the excuses I used numerous times. Well, I can't do this because well, God gives me the because. Well, then I need to come up with another excuse, you know, and I can't do it because well, God will give you the because, you know. So there is no excuse. God will equip you. You don't have to be equipped.
Yeah, all the stones you put in front of yourself to trip over, He just picks them up and gets them out of the way. What's next? Okay. That's all we have for today. Hope everybody has a glorious day, and we'll talk to you later.